Chapter 7 The Psychology of the Dream Processes. The wish fulfillment. It is precisely the wish fulfillment that has already caused us to divide all dreams into two groups. We have found dreams which were pending wish fulfillments, and others in which the wish fulfillment was unrecognizable and was often concealed by every available means. In this latter class of dreams, we recognize the influence of the dream censorship. The undisguised wish dreams were found chiefly in children. Short, frank wish dreams seemed I purposely emphasize this word to occur also in adults. C. The wish fulfillment. It is precisely the wish fulfillment that has already caused us to divide all dreams into two groups. We have found dreams which were plain wish fulfillment and others in which the wish fulfillment was unrecognizable and was often concealed by every available means. In this latter class of dreams, we recognize the influence of the dream censorship. The undisguised wish dreams were found chiefly in children. Short, frank wish dreams seemed I purposely emphasized this word to occur also in adults. We may now ask whence in each case does the wish that is realized in the dream originated. I thus found there fourfold possibility for the origin of a wish. Threefold. Firstly, it may have been excited during the day and owing to external circumstances may have remained unsatisfied. There is thus left for the night an acknowledged and unsatisfied wish. Secondly, it may have emerged during the day, only to be rejected. There is thus left for the night an unsatisfied but suppressed wish. Thirdly, it may have no relation to daily life, but may belong to those wishes which awake only at night out of the suppressed material in us. If we turn to our scheme of the psychic apparatus, we can localize a wish of the first order in the system piece. We may assume that a wish of the second order has been forced back from the PCS system into the UCS system. Where alone, if anywhere, can it maintain itself? As for the wish impulse of the third order, we believe that it is wholly incapable of leaving the UCS system. Now have the wishes arising from these different sources the same value from the dream, the same power to incite a dream? We may now ask whence in each case does the wish that is realized in the dream originate? I thus found a threefold possibility for the origin of a wish. Firstly, it may have been excited during the day, and owing to external circumstances may have remained unsatisfied. There is thus left for the night an acknowledged and unsatisfied wish. Second, it may have emerged during the day, only to be rejected. There is thus left for the night an unsatisfied but suppressed wish. Thirdly, it may have no relation to daily life, but may belong to those wishes which awake only at night out of the suppressed material in us. If we turn to our scheme of the psychic apparatus, we can localize a wish of the first order in the system PCS. We may assume that a wish of the second order had been forced back from the PCS system into the UCS system. Where alone, if anywhere, can it maintain itself. As for the wish impulses of the third order, we believe that it is wholly incapable of leaving the UCS system. Now have the wishes arising from these different sources the same value for the dream, the same power to incite a dream? On surveying the dreams at our disposal, with a view to answering this question, we are at once moved to add as a fourth source of the dream wish the actual wish impetus which arises during the night. For example, the stimulus of a thirst and sexual desire. It then seemed to us probable that the source of the dream wish does not affect its capacity to incite a dream. Finally, as the result of numerous analyses, we learn that the wish in all dreams that have been subject to distortion has its origin in the unconscious and could become perceptible by day. At first sight, then, it seems that in respect of dream formation, all wishes are of equal value and equal power. On surveying the dreams at our disposal with a view to answering this question, we are at once moved to add as a fourth source of the dream wish the actual wish impetus which arises during the night. For example, the stimulus of thirst and sexual desire. It then seems to us probable that the source of the dream wish does not affect its capacity to incite a dream. Finally, as the result of a numerous analysis, we learn that the wish in all dreams that we being subject to distortion has its origin in the unconscious and could not become perceptible by the day. At first sight, then, it seems that in respect of dream formation, all wishes are of equal value and equal power. I cannot prove here that this is not really the true state of affairs, but I am strongly inclined to assume a stricter determination of the dream wish. I would rather seem that, as we learn to control our instinctual life by intellection, we more and more renounce as unprofitable the formation of retention of such intense wishes as natural to childhood. In this, indeed, there may be individual variations. Some retain the infantile type of the psychic processes longer than others, just as we find such differences in the gradual decline of the original vivid visual imagination. In general, however, I am out of the opinion that unfulfilled wishes of the day are insufficient to produce a dream in adults. I will readily admit that the wish impetus originating in consciousness contribute to the investigation of dreams, but they probably do no more. The dream would not occur if the pre-consciousness wish were not reinforced from another source. I cannot prove here that this is not really the true state of affairs, but I am strongly inclined to assume a stricter determination of the dream wish. It would rather seem that, as we learn to control our instinctual life by intellection, we more and more renounce as unprofitable the formation of retention of such intense wishes as are natural to childhood. In this, indeed, there may be individual variations. Some retain the infant type of the psychic processes longer than others, just as we find such differences in the gradual decline of the originally vivid visual imagination. In general, however, I am of opinion that unfulfilled wishes of the day are insufficient to pronounce a dream in adults. I will readily admit that the wishing patterns originated in consciousness contribute to the investigation of dreams, but they probably do no more. The dream would not occur if the preconscious wish are not reinforced from another thought. In dream formation, the wishing patterns which are left over from the conscious waking life are therefore to be relegated to the background. I cannot admit that they play any part except that attributed to the material of actual sensations during sleep in relation to the dream content. If I now take into account those other psychic instigations left over from the waking life of the day, which are not wishes, I shall merely be adhering to the course mapped out for me by this line of thought. We may succeed in provisionally disposing of the energetic cathesis of our waking thoughts by deciding to go to sleep. He is a good sleeper who can do this. Napoleon is reputed to have been a model of this kind, but we do not always succeed in doing it or in doing it completely. Unsolved problems, harassing cares, overwhelming impressions continue the activity of our thought even during sleep, maintaining psychic processes in the system which we have termed the preconscious. The thought and impulses continued into sleep may be divided into the following groups. In dream formation, the wish and impulses which are left over from the conscious waking life are, therefore, to be relegated to the background. I cannot admit that they play any part except that attributed to the material of actual sensations during sleep in relation to the dream content. If I now take into account those other psychic instigations left over from the waking life of the day, which are not wishes, I shall merely be adhering to the course mapped out for me by this line of thought. We may succeed in provisionally disposing of the energetic axis of our waking thoughts by deciding to go to sleep. He is a good sleeper who can do this. Napoleon I is reputed to have been a model of this kind, but we do not always succeed in doing it, or in doing it completely. Unsolved problems, harassing cares, overwhelming impressions continue the activity of our thought even during sleep, maintaining psychic processes in the system, which we have termed the preconscious. The thought and impulses continue to sleep may be divided into the following groups. 1. Those which have not been completely during the day, owing to some accidental cause. 2. Those which have been left uncompletely because our mental powers have failed us. Those which have been left uncompletely because our mental powers have failed us, because our mental powers have failed us. 3. Those which have been turned back and suppressed during the day. This is reinforced by a powerful fourth group. 4. Those which have been excited in our UCS during the day by the working of the PCS. And finally, we may add a fifth consisting of 5. The indifferent impressions of the day, which have therefore been left unsettled. Those which 1. Those which have not been completed during the day owing to some accidental cause. Those which have been left uncompleted because our mental powers have failed us. 3. Those which have been turned back and suppressing during the day. This is reinforced by a powerful fourth group. 4. There which have been excited in our UCS during the day by the work of the PCS. And finally, we may add a fifth consisting of 5. The indifferent impression of the day, which have therefore been left unsettled. I cannot see that change is produced in the PCS system by the state of sleep, but there is no doubt that the psychological characteristics of sleep are to be sought mainly in the cathy-excitic changes occurring just in this system, which dominates moreover the approach to mortality, paralyzed during sleep. On the other hand, I have found nothing in the psychology of dreams to warrant the assumption that sleep produces any but secondary changes in the conditions of the UCS system. Hence, for the nocturnal excitation in the PACS, there remains no other path than that taken by the wish excitation from the UCS. They must seek reinforcement from the UCS and following the detours of the unconscious excitation. But what is the relation of the preconscious day residues to the dream? There is no doubt that they penetrate abundantly into the dream, that they utilize the dream content to obtrude themselves, to obtrude oneself upon consciousness even during the night. Indeed, they sometimes even dominate the dream content and impel it to continue the work of the day. It is also certain that the day residues may just as well have any other characters as that of wishes, but it is highly instructive and for the theory of the wish fulfillment of quite decisive importance to see what conditions they must completely with in order to be received into the dream. I cannot see what change is produced in the PCS system by the state of the sleep, but there is no doubt that the psychological characteristics of sleep are to be sought mainly in the cathy-atic changes occurring just in this system, which dominates moreover the approach to mortality, paralyzed during sleeping. On the other hand, I have found nothing in the psychology of dreams to warrant the assumption that sleep produces any but secondary changes in the conditions of the UCS system. Hence, for the nocturnal excitations in the PCS, there remains no other path than that taken by the wish excitations from the UCS. They must seek reinforcement from the UCS and follow the data of the unconscious excitations. But what is the relations of the preconscious day residues to the dream? There is no doubt that they penetrate abundantly into the dream, that they utilize the dream content to obtrude themselves upon consciousness even during the night. Indeed, they sometimes even dominate the dream content and impel it to continue the work of the day. It is also certain that the day residues may just as well have any other character as that of wishes, but it is highly instructive, and for the theory of wish fulfillment of quite decisive importance to see what conditions they must completely meet in order to be received into the dream.
The psychology of the dream
Process.
C. The wish fulfillment.
The wish fulfillment.
It is precisely the wish fulfillment that has already caused us to divide all dreams into
two groups.
We have found
dreams which were plainly
and
wish
others in
fulfillment,
which
and
the wish
others in which
fulfillment
the
was
wish unrecognizable and was often concealed by every available means.
In this
latter class of dreams, we recognize the influence of the dream censorship. The undisguised wish dreams were found chiefly in children. Short, frank wish dreams seemed, I purposely emphasize the word, to occur also in adults.
We may now
ask whence in each case does the wish that is realized in the dream originate.
I thus
found a threefold
possibility
for the origin of wish.
Firstly,
it may have been excited during the day, and owing to external circumstances may remain unsatisfied. There is thus left for night an acknowledged unsatisfied wish.
Secondly,
it may have emerged during the day only to be rejected.
There is thus
left
left
for
for
the night an unsatisfied but suppressed wish.
Thirdly,
it may have no relation to daily life, but may belong to those wishes which awake only at night out of suppressed material in us.
If we turn to our scheme of the psychic apparatus,
we can localize the wish of first order in the system PCS.
We may assume
that a wish
of
the second order has been forced back from the PCS system into the UCS system, where alone it, if anywhere, can maintain itself. As for the wish impulse of the third order, we believe that it is wholly incapable of leaving the UCS system.
Now have the wishes arising from these different sources the same
value of the dream, the same power to incite a dream?
On surveying the dreams at our disposal
with a view to answering this question, we are at once moved at the fourth
impetus which arises
during the night.
For example, the
stimulus of first sexual desire.
It then
seems
to us
probable that the source of the dream wish does not affect its capacity to incite a dream.
Finally,
as a result of the numerous analyses, we learn that the wishing in all dreams that have been to distortion oriented in the unconscious could not become perceptible by day. At first sight, then it seems that in respect of dream formation, all wishes are of equal value and equal power. I cannot prove here that this is not really the true state of affairs, but I am strongly inclined to assume a stricter determination of the dream wish. It would rather seem that we learn to control our instinctual life by intellection. We more and more renounce of unprofitable formation and retention of such intense wishes as unnatural to childhood.
In this,
indeed, there may be individual variation. Some retain infantile type of the psychic process longer than others, just as we found such differences in the gradual decline of the originally vivid visual imagination.
In general,
however, I am of the opinion that
unfulfilled
wishes of the day are insufficient to produce a dream in adults.
I will
readily admit that wish impulse originating in consciousness contribute to the investigation,
but they probably do
no more.
The dream would
not occur if the preconscious wish will not reinforce from another source.
The wish impulses which are left over from a conscious waking life are therefore to be relegated to the background.
I cannot admit that they play any part except that attribute to the material of actual sensation during sleep in relation to the
take into account those other psychic instigators.
If I now take into account those other psychic instigations left over from the waking life of the day, which are not wishes, I shall merely be adhering to the course mapped out for me by this in line. We may succeed in energetic cathexis of our waking thoughts by deciding to go to sleep. He is a good sleeper who can do this. Napoleon is reputed to have been a model of this kind, but we do not succeed in doing or in doing it completely. Unsolved problems, harassing cares, overwhelming impression, continue activity of our thought even during sleep, maintaining psychic processes in the system, which we have termed the preconscious. The thought impulses continue to be sleep, may be divided into following groups. 1. Those which have not been completed during the day owing to some accidental course. 2. Those which have been left uncompleted because our mental powers have failed us. 3. Those which having turned back and suppressed during the day. This is reinforced by a powerful fourth group. 4. Those which have been excited in our UCS during the day by the working of the PCS. And finally, we may add a fifth consisting of 5. The indifferent impressions of the day which have therefore been left unsettled. I cannot say what changes in producing the PCS system by the state of sleep, but there is no doubt that the psychological characteristics of sleep are to be sought mainly in the cathartic changes occurring just in this system, which dominates, moreover, the approach of motility paralysis during sleep. On the other hand, I have found nothing in the psychology of dreams to warrant assumption that the sleep produces any but certain changes in the condition of the UCS. Hence, for the nocturnal excitations in the PCS, there remains no other path than that taken by the wish excitation from the UCS. They must seek from the UCS and follow the details of the unconscious excitations. But what is the relation to the pre-conscious state residue to the dream? There is no doubt that penetrate abundantly into the dream, that they utilize the dream content, obtrude themselves upon consciousness during the night. Indeed, they dominate the dream content and felt the continuum. It is also certain that the residue may just as well have any other characters as that of wishes, but it is highly instructive. And for the theory of wish fulfillment of quite decisively important to see what conditions they must come alive in order to be received into the dream.